Flat Cap Chef here, and today I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious sticky toffee pudding you can imagine. So, what have we got? We've got some dates. Here we are. Big dates, about 200 grams of dates. These ones had stones in, so I've had to take the stones out. If you want to quickly know how to do that, narrow end, fat end, chopstick, push up till you feel it, and oops, there it is. And do this one, in again, pop that stone out. There we are, done. So, just going to quickly, roughly chop these. Okay, I'm going to pop these into a bowl with a couple of 100 millilitres of hot water and a little bit of bicarb of soda. You don't have to do this, but it just helps to soften them up. So roughly chopped. I'm going to leave them in that liquid for about 5 minutes just to get them softened up nicely. So I'll finish chopping these and I'll be back. So they're done, and we're actually going to use this liquid as well in the cake. So sticky toffee pudding is basically two things. It's a cake and then it's a sauce that goes on top that makes it sticky and wonderful. So you've got a kind of two different components that you're actually going to build. So for the actual sponge cake itself, I've got a 23 centimetre, which I think is 9-inch tray, and I'm just going to take some butter, unsalted butter, give this a bit of a grease around. This is butter you're then going to use anyway in the recipe, so it works perfectly. I'm actually going to use 1 packet of unsalted butter because you're going to use roughly 150 grams of it in your sauce, and then you're going to use the remaining 100 plus what you're using in here to create your cake. So there we go. This needs to be at room temperature, so because you're going to beat it, so it needs to be soft. If it's not soft, then you can always stick it in the microwave for about 7 or 8 seconds, no more than that, and that will do it. So there we go. So what I'm going to do with mine, then I'll be back. Okay, so that took 15 seconds because it literally just come out of the fridge. So it's now done. In it goes. I've got some, for this cake, I've got black treacle. I've got a couple of 150 grams of just normal plain all-purpose flour. I've got some soft brown dark sugar. I've got a couple of eggs here, some baking powder because I'm using plain not self-raising flour as part of it, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to put some of this gooey, unbelievable treacle, there we go, into here. Got a couple of generous tablespoons there. There we go. So twist it round with the second one. With the second one it's a little bit easier because I just use a finger in there in the end just to help it out. There we go. Otherwise it sticks. One thing you can do is you can heat your spoon up, and that does help a little bit. So I'm going to put that to one side because I'm going to use some treacle again in the sauce. So I'm going to keep this gooey spoon like that. Wash this off my finger. It's quite sticky, but it does come off in the end. There we go. Done. Right, now I've got my beaters. I'm going to whisk this together pretty reasonably quick. There we go. Start it slower, then speed up. this in. I'm going to add my sugar. I'm going to add, it's kind of, how much is in this one? Just under half a cup, or about 50 grams of brown sugar. There we go. And a little bit extra falls in there. There we go. Going to keep that to one side, going to use it for sauce. Let's just give it another beat in. Okay. Now one of my eggs, it's a whole egg, just going to crack it. Throw it in there. Very tough shell. A bit of shell in there. Let's take that out. Don't want to eat that. Okay. Now I'll beat that one in. Slowly. Just to get it into a more liquid form, and then I can stir it up. Sometimes turning the bowl helps as well. If you're mixing. Scrape down with the spatula. There we go. Put the second egg in. That's an easier one. Back in with the whisk. So we're basically making a sponge here, so you're making a batter or a sponge. Get it nice and smooth. Sugar needs to incorporate properly. That's that brown again. Whilst this is going, I'll put it down the side. Quite wet at this stage, so we're going to put some flour in. Now, I've got my 150 grams of flour. You can, if you want to, sieve it. And then some baking powder. I'm going to put a couple of teaspoons of baking powder in there. 1, 2, a little bit for luck. Now, a bit slower because otherwise you'll end up in a cloud of white flour. To beat this in, gentle, gentle. Fill up a little bit now because I've got most of the dough and start to turn the bowl. You can see it starting to turn into this lovely cake mixture. We're going to add some more liquid, of course. We're going to put the dates in a moment. Okay, so I've now got a lovely thick cake batter. I'm going to get my dates. I'm going to get my... Okay, so I'm just going to use the back of this just to squish these down, get the dates down a bit. They're really nice and soft now. Squish them out. Okay. And off. And in the bin. Now I'm going to pour these in. There we go. And then we're going to beat again. Just on a gentle, just to get them incorporated. There we go. So now we've got much more liquid batter again, cake batter. I've got my oven set at 180 degrees, which is the temperature we need to put it in for. And it will take about half an hour to cook. So I check it after about half an hour. If it's not quite cooked, and stick a skewer in or a wooden stick in and bring it out. If it's not sticking to it, then it's done. Okay, so it may take another 5 minutes to do. So this is all now beautifully incorporated. There we go. So now I just need my dish back over here. You can see it now looks like it's on the move, and we'll pour it in. There we go. And once this is in and cooking, we can move on to making the sauce element of the dish. So, got that out. You want it even, so if you just give it a shake. There we go, get it into the corners. And that's now ready to go into my oven. So let's have a go at the sauce. Okay, so now we're going to do the sauce. Really, really simple. I've got my brown soft sugar again, about 300 grams. So I'm going to drop it in. Roughly, it's just about 2/3 of a pack. I've got my soft unsalted butter, which I'm going to drop in. I make space to drop it in on the side, like that. Then we're going to heat it on a reasonably low heat. You don't want it to burn or catch or turn to caramel or something. So there we are. And once they have melted together, actually before that, I'm going to pop in, just for fun, another sticky tablespoon of black treacle. And we're going to leave that, once all the butter's melted, I'll give it a stir to make sure it all comes together. And then we're going to add some cream. So let's come back once this is all. The butter's now melted, so I'm giving this a really good stir. You want the oils from the butter to mix in with the sugar. So give that a good old mix together. And it's actually coming together now in this shiny, lovely shiny sauce, which is the oils from the butter mixing with the sugar. Once this has gone into a pure, you can't see any more of the oil from the butter, the yellowy oil from the butter, in a good place. So you can see, you probably can't see that very well, but there's now no oil from the butter. Now I've got 200 ml here of double cream. I'm going to throw that in there. And then mix that together. And I'm going to turn the heat up. I'm going to bring this to a boil. And once it reaches the boil, I will turn it down and keep it nice and warm, ready to pour over our cake when it comes out of the oven. I'm going to prick the cake all over with a cocktail stick or something similar, and then I'm going to pour about 2mm layer, 2mm layer of sauce all over the top of it, which is just delicious, and the rest will go in a bowl, in a jug rather, for later. So we'll do that when we take the cake out. Okay, so it's now come out. I'll skewer, prick it all over. I've already done this. My sauce, I'm going to pour it over.
Tilly, would you like to sit everyone down so anyone likes a glass of water or something? Yeah. Does that work?
And there we go. I think I'll leave this for about half an hour. And then I'm going to pour the rest of the sauce in the jug and we're done. So if you want more, just subscribe, and it's free and you'll just get notifications to you soon.